Good afternoon. I'm Jim Kuntz, the president of Aero Incorporated. Welcome to today's podcast. If you've ever had the pleasant opportunity to stroll through downtown streets of Northville, Michigan, you're struck by the raw beauty of the mature trees, the elegant homes, the way they're nestled in amongst the trees, and just the peace and comfort is just very powerful. Their homes are magnificent, ornate, and unique in design and construction. But oftentimes, these unique palaces have one thing in common, and that's a very unobtrusive building sign out in front that says Mike Miller Building. Today, I have the unique pleasure of introducing Mike and asking him a little bit about his life and his career and how he manages this building business. Mike, thanks a lot for coming to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the building business.
Well, Jim, first, let me say thank you for the introduction. That was quite the introduction, and I appreciate that very much. We do love what we do, and which it's nice to hear it spills over and people see that. The building business is a business, but we've always prided ourselves as putting the business second and putting our customers first. So it's nice that people can see that as yourself and others, and we love to hear it. So thank you very much. Just to give you a quick background on myself and the company, we've been in the building business since 1991, so about 30 years. I kind of stumbled into the building business. It really started back at Michigan State, and they had a great construction management program. And I was actually a business major. And as soon as I found out about construction management, here we are today. Of course, there's a lot from then till now, but as a whole, it started back then, and really the passion for building. We started, of course, worked with another company and worked my way up through the ranks, and eventually in 2001, decided it was time for myself to start my own company, and here we are today.
It's really an interesting story. It's remarkable because your signs are ubiquitous in town. How is it that you manage that process? You're dealing with high net worth people, I'm sure, that are used to getting what they want when they want it. Do you have a special sauce because you just keep getting more and more and more repeat business? How do you do that?
So it's a great question. The first part that we learned by default was making sure that we didn't grow to a size that was unmanageable, and we had to figure out where that sweet spot was. And it wasn't necessarily that we couldn't hire additional help or superintendents or bookkeepers, office managers. We could do all that, but it was when we lost our personal touch to our customers is where we felt that we were slipping. So by savoring that sweet spot and staying there is really the recipe for our success. I stay involved all the way through the entire building process with all of our customers. Their communication comes directly to me. They all have my direct cell phone number. We don't have an office number that we filter everything through. The office is my cell phone. And so with that, they never go a minute, an hour, a day without getting answers that they need or communicating with the owners, the decision makers of the company. They're making a very large investment. And sometimes there's things that come up that they can't wait 48 hours to get an answer on. They want an answer right away, and they should have an answer right away so they can go to sleep at night with peace of mind. And so really that's it. It's keeping ourselves at a size that is manageable, not just for us, but for our customers.
Well, that's terrific. And Aerolift, all the owners' numbers are published as well as our managers' numbers. So, and we all answer our own cell phones 7 days a week. So we share that passion with you in what we do. Now, surely there has been a draw, or there's got to be an incentive to build in Birmingham, Ann Arbor, Brighton, Michigan. What do you say to clients who say, I've heard so much about you. My best friend just built his home in Northville. I want you to build my home in Birmingham.
So being that we are about 90% referral based, we have the advantage of our prospects already knowing a lot about us. So it's not really so much an introduction when we meet our clients. It's a warm introduction. They know about us. They know a customer we build for or that we're building for, and that really helps us getting right down to the actual building process itself and what they're looking to build. What you see today is exactly what our prospects see. This is it. There's no sales pitch. There's no marketing aspects of it. This is it, because this is going to be it for, potentially 2 and sometimes 3 years, depending on what type of project it is. And so our customers need to be comfortable with that. If they're comfortable with us and having a conversation just like we're having today, we're going to get along great. We're going to build a great product. They're going to enjoy the process, and they're going to especially enjoy their home.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, the secret sauce is working for you. And now that you've got this powerful brand built, what do you see as a long-term vision for it? Do you have managers that you'd like to promote? Is this sustainable for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, the Miller Building Company?
So as I mentioned before, we don't want to grow the company. Our big push right now is to continue getting better. And so we've hired a consulting company that we've been working with that again, it was interesting. We sat down with this company and met with them, and we kept telling them that we don't want to get bigger. and they couldn't get their arms around it at first. They said 95% of the people that we meet with, that's their goal: get bigger, wealthier, make more money, so on and so forth. And ours was just, we want to get better. We want to get leaner. We want to take away all these little issues that we have here and there and just get rid of them. And so it's been working. We're very early on, but really just getting better is what our goal is. We run a lean company. For the quantity of homes that we build per year, we're technically understaffed, but that really is attributed to my business partner, Andy, and myself staying very, very intimately involved in the business, similar to what you do, Jim. And that's how we can do it without having multiple staff. And that also helps us, in downturns. We're inevitable. We will have a downturn at some point in time. And by running lean helps us stay alive through those tricky times.
I see that another thing that has struck me when you look on your website, which is very impressive, I might add. It's very straightforward, simple, but elegant. That's like, you can just see, it just reeks class and elegance. The amount that you give back, the amount of organizations that you've joined, the amount that you give back to the community, the way you promote women in construction, that's very, very interesting to me. And you obviously are a man of deep character, and you prove it. You walk the walk. Tell us about some of your favorite charities.
So there's a lot of them. We feel it's extremely important to give back. Being in the business this long, Andy, my business partner, and I, we're two very seasoned guys, and to not forget about all the people along the way that helped us and try to do the same for others in different aspects. One of there's countless of them, but one of the ones that we're very tuned into right now is professional women in building. And it seems when you first hear it, you seem like, okay, well, there's professional women in building. That's great. But the truth of the matter is, the building industry is really a male-dominated industry, whether we want to admit it or not. It is, and we want there to be more women in positions in the building industry that typically they're not there today, and they weren't there yesterday, and in most cases they won't be there tomorrow. Andy and I are doing our part. Is we actually hired our second female field operations employee. She actually started today.
How about
and
that?
I told her at our interview, our goal is not to have her stay with us forever. We would love to have her with us forever, but our goal is to use us as a path for her at some point in time to start her own company or move on to a level that is above where we are. And that's our goal. And that's, for both Jeanette and Shelby, who we love that they're working with us, and we want them to excel, which again, in this business, it's a little tricky.
Well, give them a shout out. What's their names?
Jeanette and Shelby.
Welcome, Jeanette and Shelby. That's very forward thinking of you. Especially, that absence of ego, I've noticed in some of these interviews is really an intriguing thing, a very attractive thing, that humble approach that you hope that your employees or business partners and will eclipse your own shadow, your own sphere. That's very, very admirable. I try to emulate that with my people, my sons and my managers. So I find that a very attractive sort of characteristic, and I do believe that it is successful, and it empowering people, and that's just a thrill for me. I'm 67 years old now, and so I no longer have the impact that I do in the sales, but I really do enjoy the mentoring of it. So I'm acutely aware of those sort of tendencies, and I very much admire that one in you, Mike.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Once again, getting back to the building process on a lighter side, there's got to be a great amount of drama. And when it goes on these projects that go on, like you said, for upwards of 2 years, you're smiling. Do you have a marriage counselor or a therapist on staff?
No, unfortunately, I'm that person. I'm usually the therapist, which is kind of strange because I feel sometimes I should be the one speaking to a therapist instead of being the therapist. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Where do you go to vent?
I'm not sure. I go to Florida.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm sitting in Florida, and I highly recommend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this industry is truly never the same day twice.
Oh,
and that's why I got into the business. An old timer came to me. I was talking to him about the business, and he said that to me, and it took a little bit to resonate. It seems like a cliche and just conversation piece, but it really sank in with me. And I said, if I'm going to get into any type of career, I would love a career that there's never the same day twice. And it has proven itself every single day for 30 years. It really is an interesting business. And you never stop learning.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. You got to have your wits about you at all times, from safety, from dealing with contractors, on all the various materials, equipment, appliances. It's just got to be a complete juggling act. You've got to have your wits about you. And I have found that men that are in your position, successful men have keen intelligence and the ability, emotional intelligence as well, to deal with everything. Now, you're also a very, very accomplished businessman on the professional side. Tell me about some of the organizations that you belong to or that you promote, that you're a part of.
So I sit on the board of directors for the Home Builders Association Southeast Michigan. We're on our my second or third term, I can't remember, but I plan on staying on for quite a while. At some point in time, I may move to the executive committee. I'm not sure yet. A little more of a time commitment there, but I see the value in being a part of an organization that kind of blankets over all of us. And if we, which I didn't early on, I didn't realize the value of what the Home Builders Association did for builders. No one ever sits back and says, "Oh, those poor builders, I feel so bad for them." It's just not a conversation that's had. But we deal with a lot of issues and a lot of situations that if I had a couple hours and we had a few cocktails, we could talk about. But there's a lot of situations out there that we aren't treated necessarily as well as we should be. But that's for another time. But the Home Builders Association really does a great job in giving all of us the tools that we need. And in some cases, like you mentioned earlier, to vet. There's countless people that have gone through all the situations that we'd be going through at any given time. There's always an avenue that you can reach out and just talk to someone and say, "I've never dealt with this situation." And there's someone in the HBA that can give you some assistance on that. So it's just a great organization. I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Good. And the organization is richer to have men like you involved with it, I'm sure. So I can't thank you enough for today's interview. You're a delightful man, very charismatic, and also Southeastern Michigan Builder of the Year in 2018. So hats off to you, Mike. You run a great operation, a great organization. You're a man of deep character, and keep on building, because I sure love those homes. Thank you for joining us today.
Jim, thank you. I really appreciate being a part of this, and it's great to get together with you for a bit, and hopefully we can catch up again soon.
I'd like that. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you.